thanks for joining, everyone. I'm here with Janine from Vukovi. How are you doing?
I'm great. Just had my nails done.
Yep. And you got all this sprinkly, glittery
Went
filter
for
going on. So
a glittery filter.
Yep. Fabulous lockdown look.
Thanks.
So, I mean, on the subject of lockdown, how has it been going for you? How have you been doing this year? You know, it's a crazy year.
It's been fucking shite, innit? Like, really. Yeah, it's one of those ones. It's like you have to. It's the fight or flight, isn't it? You either have to fight and fight our way through it, or just give in and admit defeat. But so we went for the latter. So yeah, we're just having to adapt, and it's all character building, isn't it?
Yeah. I mean, you're exactly right. I think everyone, like, not even just people in bands, just anyone in any walk of life, it's just adapting because no one really knows what's going on. No one really knows when it's going to end. So it's just kind of like
100%.
I can't do anything about it. You can't do anything about it. You just got to plod along and hope it ends sooner than later.
Exactly. So yeah, that's kind of then. Yeah, we've just been having to adapt to the music industry, all the changes in the music industry.
Yeah.
Just fun.
Just crap, basically, like you say. I mean, well, we'll go into something obviously more positive because I think lockdown is what everyone talks about, and I'm getting sick of it. But so at the start of the year, you released your new album, For Better. How do you kind of feel about that album has gone down with your fans and your critics? We're looking at nearly a year since that's come out now. So
fucking mental. Do you know what it is? Because we didn't get a chance to tour it. It doesn't feel like a real album, which is obviously pretty gutting. But in terms of the reception was amazing. Like even better than the first album, and so the response has been amazing. The statistically it's sold better, it's streamed better, a lot better. So yeah, it's definitely better than we could have even have imagined, to be honest. So it's been great. Like the reception was amazing from it. So yeah, it does make it worthwhile, obviously. And it's definitely better when your fans actually like the music that you put out. So that's positive. Yeah, but it just feels like a lifetime ago now. Like it's funny, like we've just put that one. It's like we've just put that to bed and like already like concentrating on album 3.
Yeah. Well, I was listening to the album recently, and I was like, oh, this is great. And then I looked at like when it came out, and it was like January. I was like, this year is both the slowest year and the fastest year, and I just don't get how it's both.
It's like pre-COVID and post-COVID now. Like, if only we knew in January really what was going to fucking happen this year.
Yeah.
But we are so glad we were thinking about releasing it in March, and we are so fucking glad we didn't do that. Like, that would have been a fucking disaster. So yeah, we're glad that we managed to do it in January. Done a really small, like, handful of shows, like launch shows, and that was. That meant a lot. So,
But, well, you kind of touched on what I wanted to go into next, which is, like I say, it's hard to not talk about COVID because it's it's the subject of the moment. It's life now. So, and like I say, you kind of touched on it there, but kind of how has COVID kind of impacted the album cycle that you had planned? I know, obviously you had like tour plans set up and festivals booked and all that kind of stuff. So, like, how has it kind of derailed your album cycle?
I mean, it's totally fucked it, but like, it's just, it is what it is. Like, you know what I mean? Like, most of the festivals we had on this year have been moved to next year. To be honest, I wouldn't even be surprised if they were cancelled as well.
Yeah. Like
next year's festivals, but again, you just have to fucking play it by ear. And like, in terms of like the touring thing, like, it is devastating, obviously, because we were meant to be playing like much bigger venues this year. Like it was going to be quite a big step up for us in terms of venue sizes, and we've not had a chance to prove that.
Yeah,
it's kind of frustrating.
Yeah. Well, I mean, the Amber cycle that you could do, because obviously you did like put out singles, for a bit before the album came out. I think Claudia came out nearly a year prior to the actual full album coming out. And I mean, when we last spoke, I think I spoke to you in Manchester, that tour you did just before Claudia came out. Like, how did, I think you said at the time, like you kind of like were doing bits of the album as you were going along.
Yeah.
Is that right? And how did that kind of putting together this album compared to the last album? Because I know obviously that the last album you had a few songs which were even older than the date that album came out.
Yeah. You mean the difference between Fallbetter and the debut album?
Yeah, putting it together, because I know you obviously had the lineup changes as well, like you're a two-piece now and stuff.
That obviously we had a lot of setbacks with that, like we had some personal things, like stuff that was happening, and lineup changes as well, so that obviously put a delay on a lot of things, but I mean, to be honest, I think we work better sort of writing as we go. Like, I can't imagine us like going like, let's go somewhere for a couple of weeks and just write an album. Like, I just think, I don't know, for us, I don't think it works, because I just feel like we're always constantly evolving. We're constantly changing. Our moods change.
Yeah.
Like all the time. That's what I like about our songs. It's like they've not just all been made within like a month of themselves. It's been made with through over like, a year, 18-month period, where we're constantly up and down. Do you know what I mean? It's really reflects our like state of mind.
Yeah.
And yeah, we're constantly evolving, and like there's so much good music out just now. It's like, you know what I mean? And I could maybe watch a television series and just be inspired by some of the music on that. So then I'll write a song off of that. Do you know what I mean? But it's just more organic for us doing it like that.
Yeah, I think it feels less forced as well. Like, you don't want to be sitting in a studio, you've got like 6 songs and you think, right, I've got to do 4 more now.
100%. Yeah, we've got to do 4 in a week, and it's like, I just don't think we would work well like that. Like, it just, as you said, just seems too forced. Like, I'd be just much better at being organic, like, puts less pressure. Like, I don't know, for us, like, it just works better.
Yeah.
Like the next single that we're putting out, like we're recording it on Saturday. Do you know what I mean? Yeah. And we wrote maybe like last month over like a couple of weeks of me and Hamish sending each other it back and forward. Do you know what I mean? Like working, adding bits to it, taking it away, changing it about.
Yeah.
So it's been like a long process, but like just more strategic, I'd say, and just organic, like, yeah, you know what I mean? It's not been, we've not been putting too much pressure. We're like, right, we need to finish a song by Saturday. It's like, we would never book in the studio and not have anything ready. Like, I mean, we'd be like, let's book the studio next month and we'll make sure that we've got these 2 songs done.
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
But it's funny because everyone works differently.
Yeah, and I think as well, like in this kind of age as well, you've got like bands that, if they're not like tied to, specific labels or contracts or whatever it may be in the background, you can just write and record a song and then you're like, oh, okay, well, we'll release it later this week or whatever. And instead of focusing on making this big body of work of an album, which is great. Like, I love albums and stuff like that, but sometimes, it's just nice to have these little surprise drops. So you've got this like EPs and stuff like that. And you've got like playlist culture as well that you've got to think about, where, exactly. People kind of, not everyone obviously, but people kind of like miss the deep cuts on an album and stuff like that.
Yeah. No, I totally agree. Like, we're all about the playlisting these days, and like, we just want to put out quantity rather than quality. Quantity rather than quality. just shove them out. Yeah. Like what we do. No, like quality rather than quantity. Just fling hundreds of shite at the wall and see what's there.
Shove it up. Yeah.
No, like yeah, I think like we want to drip feed like some strong singles between now and next year, and we have a rough plan in our heads. And again, like we're self-releasing these next few singles because we just don't know what we want to do yet. Like,
yeah,
with label wise, we have a few in mind, but yeah, we're not in a rush like to commit to like a label deal, like an album deal or anything. Like I feel like we know ourselves enough and we're confident enough in what we're creating that we're not like we have to rely on a label now. Like, we can choose, and it's such a nice position to be in. Like, and I think a lot of bands maybe starting out like lose that. They think we need to have a label behind us. Like, it's not going to look, fuck that now. Like, I think there's so much. If your product's good enough and you're not getting the right offers through and you're not feeling it with a label, then do it yourself. Like, there's absolutely no reason why you can't nowadays.
Yeah. I think this situation's kind of nudge people into that direction as well. Like, you've got, you know, people like we were saying before, like being more versatile and stuff, and kind of having to adapt because they need to adapt. And you've got these bands setting up Patreon and stuff like that. And if you've got a strong fan community, they can kind of be like your label backing.
But they are though. That's the thing. Yeah. Like, that's why it's like took us a while to be like, do you know what? Fuck the music industry. Like, fuck making the music industry happy. Like, it's all about making fans happy. It's about making your fans happy. It's about getting new fans, people that like consumers getting on board and liking what you're doing and believing in what you're creating. That's what it's all about. And it's so people get so lost and so fucking like focus on, oh, we need to make this radio presenter like us, or how can we like have this management company represent us. Like, it's taken a while for us to realise that, but
well, I mean, in the grand scheme of things, like, I know obviously you guys have been going for a while, but if you think about the grand scheme of bands, you're still coming up, you know what I mean?
That's the thing. Like, we've never rushed anything, and it's just been like a total learning curve for us, a constant learning curve, and obviously like maybe being fucked over a few times, or like just going with what you want to do rather than what someone else tells you to do because they think that you're going to be more marketable. Yeah. If you want to do it that's absolutely fine, but we don't. We just wouldn't be happy with ourselves if we were doing it if we were like that. Yeah. But obviously being like that does take a lot longer and takes a lot more work. Yeah. But I think there's like a good side in that as well. Like, if you've got that learning curve and you're continuing to learn and stuff like that, you've got these other bands that think they know everything, this is how it works and stuff, and they get stuck in their ways, and it's kind of like there's no deviation from the system. It's album cycle, album cycle, album cycle. Yeah, 100%. Like, we've just learned now. It's like there's no fucking rules anymore, and just fuck the rules. Obviously, there's certain rules in terms of songwriting. We're not going to write a fucking 10-minute song. I was going to say, you're going to go avant-garde on the next album. Right, exactly. It's like a fucking 4-minute sitar solo. Like, that's obviously, there's certain rules in songwriting that we will stick to, like even our own rules and our own formulas. But yeah, it's just I think if you're making a product that's strong enough, then it really, like, don't throw it away. Don't throw it away to someone that you're just not getting a vibe off of, like like for a label or an agent, for example, or even a manager. It's just, I think you just need to sort of kind of believe in yourself more and trust your gut more. Yeah. Now I feel like I'm doing like a fucking advice for bands. Like a little pep talk, yeah. Well, I mean, you kind of talked about the singles and stuff. So your new single, Slow, I saw that you guys worked with some of the songwriters that worked with Spice Girls as well. So that must have been quite an experience. So good. It was so good. Like they are like a couple of the most nicest guys you'll ever meet, and the most talented songwriters you'll ever meet, will ever work with. Like so much pressure, like turning up to their studio, and I had like a rough idea that I gave them, and I was like, this is the kind of idea I had, and then it was like, that shouldn't be the chorus, that should be the pre-chorus. Let's write a new chorus. It's not strong enough. Let's do another one.
Yeah.
Let's do it now. And I'm like, now you just want me to come up with something right now? And I'm like, yeah, let's look the fucking guitar bit, Hamish, go. And then they stare at you and they're like, what? In your head you're like, fucking come up, Janine, come on, Janine, come on, if the once in your fucking life, come up with something really good right now.
Now's the time. Now's the time.
Come on. And I'm like, and then it was like, right, let's write lyrics. I'm like, oh, I usually go away, and then, no, fuck that, let's write them now. And I'm like, oh, okay, we got to write about it. I'm like, oh, well, I was thinking, do you know what I mean? It's like, but the thing is, we worked so well with that pressure. Like, we thought we would crash and burn, but actually having that pressure,
yeah,
I didn't know how it was going to go, but it worked out. We obviously worked. It worked out well for us.
Yeah.
But, so yeah, we demoed that track like that day, done like a rough demo, and then we went away. We went back up Scotland and stuff, and sat on it and stuff, and then we sort of put our own twist to it, like fucked it up a bit and sped it up and put a big breakdown in the middle. So
yeah.
The demo that we done with them is like a lot slower and way so poppy and like, which is also really good. But yeah, we just ended up going away, sat on it for a bit, and was like, no, let's fuck it up a bit.
Let's shake it up, basically. Yeah.
Yeah. So that it were great to work with, like just having their experience and knowledge, and it was amazing. I was a huge Skittles fan anyway, so
yeah. Well, it sounded like it would have been a great experience because, well, like you said, even if you don't like the Spice Girls, like they were massive in the 90s,
Seen, like, do you know what I mean? One of the biggest pop groups in the world ever.
Yeah.
Like, it was just amazing to be in the studio and seeing all their plaques, and they were so modest, do you know what I mean? Like, they're just two of the nicest guys you'll ever meet. Like, honestly, reading it, at first I was like, this is going to be fucking terrible. Like, I'm not going to like these guys. I could just feel it. Like, and honestly, they are like, still like, we're really good friends, like genuinely really good friends now. And yeah, it was great. It was a really good experience.
Yeah. Well, how did that even come together? Like, how did you guys like link up?
Like our old manager, like, kind of worked with them before,
right?
And he'd sent them like some of our music for some feedback, and they gave us some feedback on some of the songs, like "Behave," for example. They mixed "Behave." Right.
Okay.
They actually mixed that, and if you listen to the Bruce's mix and their mix, that they're completely different. And "Behave" was like one of our most streamed songs, and like, so having their feedback on like songwriting and things, and then they were just like, let's just come to ours for the afternoons, fucking write something. So like that, cool, like let's try it, see what happens. So that's what came out of it. So, and
slow happens. That's what you've got.
In a matter of hours, that's what's amazing about it. Like we would never have written that if it wasn't for them. Do you know what I mean? Like, even though we came with an idea or whatever, like it just the beauty of that song coming together would only have happened in that room that day.
Yeah.
Amazing. It's just fascinating about music.
Yeah. And was that kind of like an idea that you had from the album, or have you had that? Is it kind of recent? Did you record it like during this COVID period, or was it prior to that?
No. So like the idea I put it on GarageBand, and then we went to visit them, which was like last year.
Right.
Done the song, like done the demo, and then we sat on it. We were going to go back down and like actually record it with them, but obviously COVID happened.
Yeah. So
then we fucked it up a bit, and then we basically recorded everything from home. That song is all done from home, so there's nothing done in the studio. So yeah, that's just the beauty of that song. It's a lockdown song, so
And that's the thing, like you're getting like people that are just recording songs and full albums in their bedrooms and stuff now, whereas before it was kind of like, no, it has to happen in the studio.
It doesn't, and that's the thing, it really doesn't. That's the beauty of it as well. People are becoming so much more resourceful, and they're just adapting again.
Yeah.
Can't go to the studio, cool, I'll do it in my room.
Yeah. And you can just do it to your schedule as well. Like you don't have to book in this time and spend the money as well.
No, exactly. Like the money that you're spending on like going into a studio and the time, like you get exactly the same result at home, I would say.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, you spoke a bit earlier about, you've got some more singles that are coming out. I mean, what's the kind of the status there? Like, are they already written and recorded, or are they all going to be like at home as well? Or have you worked with those guys that work with the Spice Girls as well? Like, what's going on there?
So, like the next two singles, like we've written them, but they are like they're just written.
Right.
Like they're written, and like we've recorded them like on Logic, like just between me and Hamish.
Right.
So Saturday we're going into the studio to record the next one, like the next single, and so we're doing that in the studio. But the drums are already done for that. We were in the studio last couple of weeks ago doing something for Amazon. So we done like some drums for that thing. We done the drums for that like while we were there for that new single. So like on Saturday we'll be doing like guitar, bass, and vocals. And then the next one, we'll probably be doing that. Probably record that in December.
Right.
So that they're sort of done.
Yeah.
But yeah, those ones have been written. It's been just me and Hamish, and a bit of Bruce as well. So, like those two new songs, they're completely like the next two songs are like completely different from each other. Like they couldn't sound any more different. So,
right.
Yeah, I'm just interested. I mean, we were toying with the idea of getting like a producer, like another producer in to do not this song we're doing, but the next one, like just to see their take on it.
Yeah.
To see what if they had any ideas about it. So we have been toying with that. I'd be quite interested to maybe try that for a song, see what happens.
Yeah. And are you going to be like, what's the kind of intended release? Are you going to do it like the end of this year, or wait until 2021 at this point now?
Probably January, because we're releasing something in December for Amazon.
Oh, right, okay, yeah.
And then we'll probably January, I'd say, for the next one.
Yeah.
We'll do a video for that one as well, I'd imagine.
Start 2021 on a high.
Of course. Like fucking January blues, fuck that. So yeah, we'll see.
Cool. And in other recent news, you guys put out pre-orders for like the first final pressing of your debut as well, which is pretty cool. I know fans have been asking for it for a little while as well. Yeah. What was kind of like the final nudge that pushed that to actually happen for you?
Honestly, at the fucking label, like we were saying to like Lab for ages, we're like we need to do vinyl. And they were like, okay. And they were like, no, come on, let's do vinyl. And then like the first album done so well, like that's been paid off, and like we're making profit off the first album, which is good for the label as well.
Yep.
So I think that was a kind of a nudge for them as well. So it's like, right, they've like paid off the album. We're still making money from it. Like it's obviously selling, still selling. So, yeah, like I mean, to be honest, it's good that we've waited this long as well, because we just couldn't believe how many we sold like in the first like literally 2 hours. Like it was. Everyone was a bit surprised at that, so yeah, like that's been so amazing.
Yeah,
like how well they've done.
Yeah, because I think you limited it to 500, didn't you? Have they all sold out?
I think we have maybe like 60 left.
Right.
So I think it's around about 60, and so that was like when did we put them on sale? I can't remember.
I think it was it the 6th? I think like last Friday, maybe.
Yeah, I think so. Like maybe last Friday. Like yeah. So most of them sold over the weekend, which was great. So yeah, because like we're literally said we're not doing them again. Like that'll be it.
Yeah.
So yeah.
And that's especially like kind of, you know, uplifting as well when you think of obviously the current situation, like finances for people are tight, and Christmas around the corner as well, like they're really, really tight. So the fact you push that many so quickly is just
that's the
great.
thing, like, and we never like we're just like we don't try and put too much merch on sale and push loads of shit down people's throats. It's like people got enough to fucking worry about. But
yeah,
I think with something like that, it's something that's special to us and something that is very, very limited. It obviously makes us feel amazing because it obviously means something to fans as well.
Yeah,
like, and plus I think honestly a lot of folk probably would have bought them for Christmas presents as well.
Yeah.
Like, so yeah, it's yeah, it's been great.
Yeah. And how do you feel about that album now? I mean, we kind of touched on it earlier, but some of those songs on there are, you know, older than that album, like, you know, like Boy George and Animal and stuff like that. Like, how are you feeling about those kind of songs now, you know, looking back at them?
I mean, I wouldn't listen to them now, like, but we'd still play them live, like, especially Animal, like, playing that live, it completely ignites a crowd. It's mental, like, seeing it. Like, we've always noticed that with Animal, like, so we used to leave it at the end of the set, and I'm like, no man, like, bring it up to near the start, because it was literally when you play that, there's something changed in the crowd. I don't know if it was some sort of spell that I unintentionally say in the lyrics, but people just go fucking mental for it.
It's like a shot of adrenaline just into the crowd, and that's it for the show.
I honestly wish, like, you need to see it to believe it. Like, every show we would do, and it's like we do Animal, and it's like for some reason it is like a fucking, like, just like that, and that's it. The crowd's in the fucking palm of your hands for the rest of the set. So I was like, fucking bring it up near the start. Let's fucking throw it in there early. And it does it. And it works. That's the beauty of it.
Yeah.
So yeah, songs always means something to us when we play live anyway.
Awesome. I mean, talking slightly about the second album again, the latest album, like during the record, there's this like anonymous character that we know as like user 17359, and we hear that, you know, a couple of times, and the computer character in the background as well. What's kind of like that character's role in the album? Is there like a overarching concept that they kind of play in those songs that they appear in, or?
Yeah, it's basically like, it was so funny, like this one fan messaged me and said that when she first listened to the album and it said, please, don't even know the fucking words in it, like, please verify, like, or like, please put in basically like verify your worth before to continue with your selection, like, please. And like, she genuinely said she thought that she was gonna have to like fucking go on this website and like verify what she said. She genuinely like fucking like got her phone ready to be like, oh right to what to do. And it was just all about this whole fucking advert, like this whole advert fucking, like, the way I feel like it's a way of life now. Like, you can't fucking watch anything without getting an advert flung in your fucking face.
Yeah. Or
you have to pay a subscription, you have to pay a bit extra to get the content. So it was just kind of like a dig at that. And then in the interlude, obviously, when you've got the girl that comes in with the typing, it's kind of like that's like she's overriding that whole horrible system.
Yeah.
Just fucking unlocking it, and it's like, just why can't, it's like everything, it's like feels like everything costs a price now, but like it's like unnecessary now. I just feel like you can't watch anything good anymore without having to either sign up for a subscription or watch a fucking million adverts to get to it. And it's like, there's a fucking gone are the days where you just, do you know what I mean? Someone puts out something that's good and you can just fucking watch it or buy it once and watch it. It's like gaming now. You have to buy all these fucking add-ons to make the game better. It's like, I fucking bought the game. Like, and now I need to fucking pay to be better at the game.
Yeah.
So it's all about a dig like that. User 17359. whatever the fuck it is, that's like, you're just a fucking number to these people.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, and there's also that you mentioned the interlude, like there's those questions where it's kind of like, please verify your gender, please verify your dietaries.
Yeah, it's like, exactly. It's like your worth is just like your fucking status nowadays. It's like, are you fucking verified online? Like, are you gay? Are you straight? Are you fucking male, female? Like, it's like everything needs a label, and it's like it's like you constantly have to fucking like. You're constantly having to verify your worth. I know that's the name of the song. I didn't really mean it as poetic as that, but like, you're just constantly like, why? Who fucking cares? Like that? What? Who cares that I fucking want my hair to be this color? Like, why? Why do I need to explain myself? I need to have a reason. Do you know what I mean? And that is the whole album. That concept was basically like that. You know, at the start, it's like as if like you think it's gonna hold. You're gonna have to unlock to hear the album. What am I gonna need to do? Am I gonna need to either pay credits, pay extra money to unlock it,
go into a different site and then type in a code or anything like that?
Watch fucking 40 adverts on fucking Vagisil and then then listen to 2 songs and watch another fucking 40 adverts. Like, that's what the album is all evolved around.
Right.
Yeah. And then the Interlude's obviously that someone hacking into it and being like, nope.
Yeah.
Why don't we just listen to the fucking album?
Yeah. And then I think it's the last track as well where she kind of reappears and she's like, I can't let you live, and then you go into the breakdown. Yeah
exactly. Like, it's just we wanted to end on that because obviously like her voice comes back into it. And then obviously it's like everything's going to be just fine. You'll see. Have to end on a little positive note on that, you know.
Yeah, of course. Before you bring the riffs back in, you know.
Before you bring them.
So again, like, you know, while we're kind of on the topic of albums, you kind of did briefly mention like album 3. So is that kind of like, how is that coming along? Are they, you know, these singles that you're putting out, are they potentially going to be on there? You don't know yet. Like what?
Yeah, like potentially, yeah. We just want to drip feed some singles and get a vibe, and then we can decide who we want to do the album with, or whether we self-release it again, or and when we want to release it. But we're not gonna stop. Like, we're not gonna we're not gonna put some songs out and then fucking have a little break. We're not gonna stop.
Yeah.
So it'll be singles, and then an album, and some of these singles may be on the album, they might not be. Yeah.
And I suppose a lot of what happens in that kind of like that timeline for you all depends on, like, once again, COVID, you know.
I know, you just don't fucking know like what the fuck's gonna happen. So yeah.
Just play it by ear for now.
We're just winging it, basically.
Yeah. That's how I live my life, so it works.
Exactly. I thought that's what everyone did.
Yeah. So what else do you guys kind of have planned for, you know, I mean, you know, it's nearly the end of this year now, and then we've got 2021. Like you mentioned the songs, you plan to do any live streams? You know, obviously bands are doing live streams when they can and stuff like that.
Yeah, we're doing one, we're going to be recording one this month, probably to come out in December.
Right.
Through a YouTube channel, quite a reputable YouTube channel, so we're going to do that.
Right.
So yeah, I mean, I don't know. I think we'll see how what the deal is with live shows, and we might do like a really well produced one, and you know, we can charge maybe like a small ticket price. Like, I don't know. I think it's definitely the way bands are having to do it just now. But I don't know. I just feel like I wouldn't feel comfortable charging someone money to watch a live set unless it was really fucking good.
Yeah.
Like really, really good, a good production behind it, and something a bit more interesting than just us all fucking sitting in a room with the big light on, fucking playing a couple of songs. Maybe like a big like backdrop or something like that. Yeah, exactly. Like we'll make it like a bit more interesting. Yeah. So it's worth like charging a ticket money like to come to see us. So. Yeah. But yeah, I think we'll maybe do something like that next year, like the start of next year, maybe like a gig, like an actual gig live, like a live stream gig or something.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
Yeah.
Awesome. Well, I mean, I know I've kept you for a little while now, so I'll let you go. Any final words before we close this up?
No, you've totally put me on the spot, and I'm going to think of loads of things to say once I get off the phone. Once I get off the yeah, just fucking keep your fucking chin up, and we're all fucking in this boat. We're all in this fucking boat together, so sink or swim and all that shit.